All right, so I have the same workbook as you. This was made with so much love for you. There is tons of information in here, but I am going to just use it as a guide, and then I'm going to dive deeply into each of the chakras. So feel free to follow along, like I said before, or you're welcome to reference this at a later stage. Feel free to take notes, all kinds of good stuff, whatever works for you, however you learn best. So let's dive in. All right, so number one, let's talk about what the chakras are. So just going into an overview of the chakras. The chakras are spiraling energy centers, and they're actually responsible for a lot more than we think that they are. Essentially, when we have conscious awareness, meaning when we are aware of our chakra system, that is when they work the best for us. So in order to do that, we need to understand how they work and what the heck they even are. So there's actually not only 7 chakras in our body. There's 7 main ones, but there's actually 114 chakras all over our body. However, the 7 main ones are along the midline. That's kind of like if you've ever seen at a lot of yoga studios, they'll have a person sitting in meditation and there's like the rainbow of polka dots going up their body. Those are the 7 main chakras. And how they are formed is by these things called nadis, N-A-D-I, nadis in the body. Now, nadis are channels of prana or life force, and there are thousands of them. There are 72,000 nadis in our body that are going all over the place. It almost looks like a nervous system if you look at them like printed out. So the 3 main nadis, however, are Sushumna, Ida, and Pingala. Now, Sushumna is the main center line. So this runs through the middle of our bodies and it represents consciousness. Ida is on the left and it contains your descending prana, your descending life force or vitality. So it moves down Sushumna like this, and then Pingala is ascending on the right. So it moves up Sushumna like this. And so what happens is when Sushumna is centered and Ida and Pingala are moving in opposite directions, the places where they connect on Sushumna, that is where our 7 main chakras come in. And then the chakras start to move because of the opposite movement of Ida and Pingala along Sushumna. That is really tricky to do the opposite way. But because they're moving in opposite directions, they're forcing these chakras, these balls or orbs, to start to turn around Sushumna. And that is how we get those 7 main energy centers in our body. So the goal of Ida and Pingala is to make them move, right? But these are things that we don't physically feel, right? It's kind of like trying to feel God or source energy. We can't feel it, but we can feel it, right? And so that is what Ida and Pingala do around Sushumna and how the chakras start to activate. Now, again, as I was speaking about conscious awareness of the chakras, when we're unaware of what's going on, we rarely feel the chakra system. But when we're aware, we can really tap into each and every chakra, and we can feel, if not physically, definitely, just with our energy space, if one is unbalanced, overactive, underactive. It also manifests in our day-to-day lives. So for example, if the solar plexus is overactive, we tend to start acting very domineering, controlling. If it's underactive, we're timid or shy or lack confidence, right? So they do start to manifest in physical ways in our world. However, we don't really ever attribute those kinds of feelings to our chakra system unless we're aware of it. So that's why having a basic foundation of your chakras is so important, because it's actually really easy to balance them yourself, and that makes life flow in blissful alignment. And it sounds so silly to be like, oh, just balance your chakra and everything's going to be easier. But once you start practicing it, that is what happens. Life just becomes a whole lot easier. So chakras are said to be a part of the higher energy system, and again, it takes a really concentrated level of awareness to understand them. The lower three chakras, so our root, our sacral, and our solar plexus, these three chakras are more grounding earth energies. These are the three chakras that are associated more with not heavy in a bad way, more just like lower vibration, grounding us into earth. Our upper three chakras, throat, third eye, and crown, those are more of our ethereal energies. Those connect to source. Our heart is the bridge between the lower three and the upper three, so extremely important to have an open and highly functioning heart space so that we don't get too grounded, so that we don't get too airy-fairy. Everything can flow in perfect alignment. The chakras integrate our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and they're just the unifying force. Again, when our chakras are flowing in perfect alignment, that is when life is easy, it flows, we feel like we can make really clear decisions, abundance, joy, all high vibrational energies start to flow to us and through us, and everything just feels a lot easier. So that is an overview of what the chakra system is, both physically and energetically. Now let's dive deeply into each and every one of our 7 main chakras.